Welcome back to the Chan and Treasure Hunter. Today we're talking about something exciting. British 2 pence coins that could be worth big money. Yes, that small copper coin in your pocket might actually be a rare collector's item. Since their introduction in 1971 during the reign of Elizabeth II, millions of 2p coins have been produced. But did you know that certain rare versions, especially the famous 1983 new pence era, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of pounds? In this video, I'll show you exactly which 2p coins to look for, how to identify rare versions, and what makes them so valuable. So grab your spare change, and let's see if you're holding a hidden treasure. Let's get started. First up, the British 2 pence coin issued in the year 1990 in the United Kingdom is part of the modern decimal currency system, and it represents an important continuation of the bronze coinage that began after decimalization in 1971. This coin carries the portrait of Elizabeth II on the obverse, and it was produced by the historic Royal Mint, which has been striking coins for centuries. For collectors, the 1990 issue without any special mint mark is considered a standard circulation coin, yet in uncirculated condition it can still attract attention because condition plays a powerful role in determining value and desirability within the numismatic community. In 1990, the 2 pence coin was struck in bronze with a composition of 97% copper along with small amounts of tin and zinc. The weight is just over 7 grams and the diameter is slightly above 25 millimeters. The reverse design features the badge of the Prince of Wales, which shows 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet along with the motto Ich Dien, meaning I serve. This design was created by Christopher Ironside, whose initials appear subtly on the coin. The absence of a mint mark is normal for circulating issues from this period, because the Royal Mint did not use individual mint marks for standard United Kingdom circulation coins at that time. When discussing value, it is essential to understand grading. An uncirculated coin is one that has never entered circulation and therefore retains its original mint luster, sharp detail, and no visible wear. In 1990, millions of 2 pence coins were produced, so scarcity is not driven by low mintage figures. Instead, value depends almost entirely on preservation. A typical circulated example is worth face value only, but a truly uncirculated coin carefully stored, since issue may sell for a small premium, often ranging from £1 to £5 depending on market demand, presentation, and whether it is part of a full uncirculated year set. Collectors often search for coins in brilliant uncirculated condition that were originally distributed in annual mint sets. These sets were packaged to protect coins from handling and environmental damage. If a 1992 pence coin comes from such a set and remains sealed or carefully preserved, it may command a slightly higher price than a loose example. The difference in shine, color, and surface quality can be significant, because bronze reacts easily with air and moisture, leading to toning or spotting over time, which reduces desirability for strict collectors. It is also important to clarify that 1992 pence coins do not carry a mint mark indicating location, because all were struck at the primary Royal Mint facility. Therefore, the phrase "without mint mark" does not signal a rare era variety. In contrast, certain later commemorative coins or coins struck at overseas facilities may include marks, but this does not apply here. Understanding this prevents unrealistic expectations about rarity and helps collectors make informed decisions based on condition rather than myths about hidden mint symbols. The market for modern British decimal coins is driven by completeness and condition. Many enthusiasts aim to assemble date runs covering every year since decimalization. For such collectors, an uncirculated 1990 example fills a necessary slot. Even if it is common, demand can therefore remain steady, especially among new hobbyists. In online marketplaces, prices fluctuate based on presentation, clear photography, and whether the seller provides certification or guarantees regarding authenticity and grade. Although professional grading is less common for low-denomination modern bronze coins, it can still influence confidence and final sale price. Storage plays a decisive role in maintaining value. Experts recommend keeping bronze coins in acid-free holders away from humidity and direct sunlight, because oxidation can darken surfaces and create uneven color known as toning. This natural process can be attractive, if even, but damaging if blotchy. A bright red-brown surface close to original mint appearance is typically preferred by buyers. Handling with bare fingers should be avoided, since oils from skin can leave marks that permanently alter the finish of an otherwise pristine piece. For a long-form discussion lasting around 40 minutes, one could explore the historical context of decimalization in the United Kingdom, the transition from pre-decimal currency to the modern system, and the role of the 2 pence denomination in everyday commerce. The script could describe how inflation has changed purchasing power since 1990, comparing what 2 pence could buy at that time with its symbolic role today. Such Storytelling keeps viewers engaged while also educating them about economic history, design, artistry, and the cultural symbolism embedded in British coinage. Another section of the video could focus on identifying true uncirculated condition by teaching viewers how to tilt a coin under light to observe cartwheel luster, how to detect hairline scratches, and how to distinguish between circulation wear and minor bag marks from mint handling, demonstrating safe storage techniques, and explaining how to research completed sales listings would empower collectors to assess realistic value, including anecdotes from collectors who discovered pristine coins in old mint sets could add human interest and authenticity to the presentation. In conclusion, the 1990 British 2p coin without mint mark is not rare in terms of mintage, yet in uncirculated condition it holds modest collector value and educational significance. Its worth usually remains low in absolute terms, but its appeal lies in condition, historical continuity, and the satisfaction of completing a date set. A detailed script can transform this humble bronze coin into a gateway for discussing design heritage, economic change, collecting strategy, and careful preservation, encouraging viewers to appreciate even the smallest denominations as meaningful pieces of national history. Next up, the 1992 British 2p coin from the United Kingdom is a fascinating piece of modern numismatic history, and in this extended discussion we will explore every aspect of its background, production, design, metal composition, rarity, market demand, and collector interest, with special attention to examples described as uncirculated and without mint mark, which is a detail that often creates confusion among new collectors who are trying to understand how British decimal coinage was produced and distributed during the early 1990s. To begin with, it is important to understand that the 2p coin, commonly known as the tuppence, was introduced as part of decimalisation in 1971, and it has been struck by the Royal Mint, which is the official producer of coinage for the nation and for many overseas territories, and by 1992 the coin had already undergone a major change in metal composition, shifting from bronze to copper-plated steel due to rising metal costs, and this transition year makes 1992 particularly interesting because both bronze and copper-plated steel versions exist, creating two distinct varieties within the same date. When examining a 1992 coin described as without mint mark, it is essential to clarify that standard circulation coins of this era did not carry a visible mint mark indicating a specific branch mint, since production was centralized, and therefore the absence of a mint mark is normal and not an error. And this is a crucial educational point for viewers because many online listings may describe ordinary coins as rare simply because they lack a mint mark, even though that is exactly how they were intended to be issued by the minting authority. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of Elizabeth II, and in 1992 the portrait in use was created by Raphael Maclauf, showing the Queen wearing the royal diadem, and this portrait appears on countless coins of the period, so its presence does not add rarity by itself. However, collectors pay close attention to the sharpness of the portrait in uncirculated condition, looking for full detail in the hair, strands, and the crown jewels, as well as clean fields free from contact marks. On the reverse, the design displays the badge of the Prince of Wales, which consists of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet above a ribbon, and the denomination 2p appears below, and in 1992 the inscription around the reverse famously read 2p, except for a small number of proof coins mistakenly struck with the older inscription new pence, and those rare proof errors are among the most valuable modern British decimal coins, yet they are entirely different from standard circulation pieces and should not be confused with ordinary uncirculated examples. Condition plays a decisive role in determining value, and when a coin is described as uncirculated, this generally means it has never entered circulation and retains its original mint luster with no wear on the high points, though it may still show minor handling marks from bags or storage. And serious collectors often differentiate between uncirculated, brilliant uncirculated, and proof states, with proof coins being specially struck for collectors using polished dies and planchets, resulting in mirror-like surfaces and frosted designs. In terms of market value, a standard 1992 2p coin in uncirculated condition without any special error is usually worth only a modest premium above face value because millions were produced for circulation and survival rates are high, especially for coins saved in mint sets. And while copper-plated steel pieces can be distinguished from bronze by using a magnet, since steel is magnetic, this difference alone does not create substantial rarity unless paired with an unusual striking error or a certified transitional mule involving mismatched dies. For collectors building a date run of decimal 2 pence coins, the 1992 issue represents an important transitional year, and having both the bronze and copper-plated steel versions in high grade can add educational and historical depth to a collection, and enthusiasts often store such coins in protective holders or archival albums to preserve their surfaces, as exposure to moisture can cause spotting, particularly on steel-based planchets where the thin copper plating may be vulnerable if damaged. When discussing subscription details for a YouTube channel focused on coin collecting, it is helpful to encourage viewers to subscribe for regular deep dives into specific dates, varieties, minting processes, and market trends, as well as practical guidance on grading, authentication, and safe storage, and reminding viewers that knowledge protects them from overpaying for common coins marketed as rare errors is a valuable service that builds trust and long-term engagement within the numismatic community. To conclude this extensive exploration, the 1992 British 2 pence coin without mint mark in uncirculated condition is generally a common modern decimal coin whose value depends largely on condition and metal type, rather than on the absence of a mint mark, and while it may not be a treasure worth vast sums, it serves as an accessible entry point into the rich and evolving story of British coinage, offering collectors a tangible link to the economic decisions, metal changes, and portrait updates that shaped the currency of the nation during the late 20th century. Next up, the British 2 pence coin 1993 without mint mark in uncirculated condition is one of those coins that often creates excitement among collectors in the United Kingdom and around the world, because many people believe that the absence of a mint mark automatically makes it rare and valuable. However, when we carefully study the historical background of United Kingdom coin production, we discover that most coins struck for circulation at the Royal Mint during that era did not carry a mint mark at all, which means that a standard 1993 2 pence coin without any letter under the date is usually a normal circulation issue and not a special error coin. Yet collectors still search for high-grade examples, especially those in uncirculated condition, because condition plays a very important role in determining value and desirability in the numismatic market. To understand the value of the 1993 2 pence coin, we must first look at the design and composition of the coin, which features the famous Prince of Wales feathers badge on the reverse designed by Christopher Ironside, and the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse designed by Raphael Maclaf. And during 1993, the obverse inscription reads Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina FD, which stands for Elizabeth II by the grace of God, Queen Defender of the Faith, and this specific portrait was used from 1985 until 1997 before being replaced by the Ian Rank Broadley portrait, so the 1993 coin belongs to the Maclaf portrait era, which is important for collectors who specialize in portrait varieties of British decimal coinage. The composition of the coin is copper-plated steel, which means it has a steel core with a thin layer of copper, and this composition began in 1992 when the Royal Mint changed from solid bronze to copper-plated steel in order to reduce production costs, and because of this change collectors sometimes test the coin with a magnet, since copper-plated steel coins are magnetic, while earlier bronze issues are not, and the 1993 2 pence coin therefore should be magnetic, which confirms it is part of the new composition era and not an earlier bronze transitional piece. Now let us focus on the mintage figures, because mintage is one of the biggest factors in determining coin value, and in 1993 the reported mintage for the 2 pence coin struck for circulation was approximately 280 million pieces, which is a very high number and immediately tells us that the coin is not rare in circulated condition, and even in uncirculated condition many examples were saved from change or included in annual mint sets, so availability is still strong in the collector market, and this means that despite online rumors, the standard 1993 2 pence coin without a mint mark is not a rare treasure, but rather a common modern decimal coin. When discussing mint marks in the United Kingdom, it is important to explain that traditionally British coins produced by the Royal Mint in Wales do not carry a mint mark for normal circulation issues, unlike some countries, such as the United States, where mint marks identify the mint location, so collectors sometimes misunderstand this and assume that the lack of a letter indicates an error when in fact it indicates a normal issue, and true mint-marked British decimal coins are usually associated with special commemorative issues or foreign contract strikes rather than everyday circulating pieces. In uncirculated condition, the 1993 2 pence coin can still hold modest collector value because condition grading ranges from circulated to brilliant uncirculated to proof, and an uncirculated example with full original mint luster, no contact marks, and sharp details may sell for a small premium over face value, often between £1 and £3 depending on market demand, while proof versions from official annual sets may sell for slightly higher amounts, especially if preserved in original packaging with certificate of authenticity. Collectors should also be aware of error varieties because sometimes coins are valuable not due to mintage but due to striking mistakes, and while the standard 1993 2 pence coin is common, there have been occasional reports of off-center strikes, double strikes, or plating errors, and such genuine mint errors can command higher prices if authenticated by a reputable grading service. However, ordinary coins without visible striking anomalies generally remain low in value, and careful inspection under magnification is always recommended. Another factor influencing value is market psychology and online hype, because videos and social media posts sometimes claim extraordinary prices for everyday coins, and this creates confusion among new collectors who may see listings asking for hundreds or even thousands of pounds, but asking prices are not the same as completed sales, and realistic sold listings show that common 1993 2 pence coins trade at very modest levels, so it is important to research completed auction results rather than relying on exaggerated claims. If you are considering building a collection of decimal 2 pence coins, you might focus on completing a date run from 1971, the first year of decimalization under Queen Elizabeth II, through the various portrait changes, including the Maklauf portrait era and later designs, and you may also include special commemorative reverses such as the Britannia design introduced in 2008, which replaced the traditional feathers badge, and by studying these changes you gain a deeper appreciation of British coinage history and design evolution. In conclusion, the British 1993 2 pence coin without mint mark in uncirculated condition is generally a common coin produced in very high numbers by the Royal Mint, and while it may carry a small premium if perfectly preserved, it is not considered rare solely due to the absence of a mint mark, and collectors should base value expectations on condition, rarity, verified errors, and actual market sales data, rather than online speculation. And by understanding the history, composition, design, and mintage, you can make informed decisions and enjoy the fascinating hobby of United Kingdom coin collecting with confidence and realistic expectations. Next up, the British 2 pence coin dated 1994 without a mint mark in uncirculated condition from the United Kingdom is part of the modern decimal coinage that began in 1971, and it was issued under the reign of Elizabeth II as part of the standard circulating currency of the country, and the coin was produced by the Royal Mint, which is the official mint responsible for striking coins for the United Kingdom and many other countries, and in 1994 there was no special mint mark placed on the standard circulation 2 pence coins because most coins struck for general circulation at that time did not carry a mint mark, and therefore a 1994 2 pence coin without a mint mark is considered normal and standard rather than rare or special, and the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, designed by Raphael Maklauf, and on the reverse it shows the badge of the Prince of Wales, which consists of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet with a ribbon bearing the motto Ich Dien, and this design was used on 2 pence coins from 1971 until 2008, before the shield redesign was introduced, and the metal composition of the 1994 issue is copper-plated steel, because in 1992 the composition changed from solid bronze to copper-plated steel due to rising metal costs, which means that a 1994 coin will be magnetic unlike the earlier bronze versions, and in uncirculated condition, which means the coin has not been used in everyday transactions and retains its original mint luster. With no wear on the high points and minimal handling marks, the value is usually modest because millions were minted for circulation, and while exact mintage figures run into many tens of millions, the demand from collectors is relatively low compared to scarce dates or error varieties, and as a result the typical market value for a 1994 2 pence coin without mint mark in uncirculated condition is generally between £1 and £3, depending on eye appeal grading and whether it is sold individually or as part of a mint set, and coins taken from original Royal Mint sets may command slightly higher prices, especially if preserved in original packaging with certificate, and when selling through online marketplaces or auction platforms, subscription fees and seller commissions may reduce final profit, so collectors often compare completed sales to determine realistic pricing, and it is important to avoid exaggerated online claims that suggest extreme rarity because a standard 1994 issue without mint mark is common and not considered a key date, and long-term value appreciation is likely to follow general trends in modern British coin collecting rather than dramatic increases, and therefore this coin is best appreciated as a well-preserved example of mid-1990s decimal coinage rather than as a high-value investment piece. And for those creating a 40-minute script about this coin, one could expand by discussing the history of decimalization in the United Kingdom, the Transition from bronze to copper-plated steel. The biography of Queen Elizabeth II. The symbolism of the Prince of Wales. Feathers. The role of the Royal Mint in Llantrisant in Wales. The difference between circulated and uncirculated grading standards. How to store coins safely in capsules or acid-free holders. How to check magnetism to confirm metal type. How online auction subscription models work for coin sellers. Common myths about mint marks and rare errors, and broader trends in the British numismatic market, which together would provide viewers with detailed educational content while remaining accurate about the realistic market value and collectible significance of the 1994 British 2 pence coin without mint mark in uncirculated condition. Thanks for watching.